So real quickly, I want to talk about a program that the city has going on, and it's been a recurring theme. I would say for at least the past 2 years. They have a program called Small Business Vacant Storefront Activations, uh, which is pretty dope. Like just the concept alone, like thinking about it. Yeah, it's like you have this vacant, storefront or whatever that has been vacant for a while, and like they're actually trying to like help a small business owner or a community group like activate it to put something in there that will have some type of impact for the city. you know it's a great idea, but the reality of it is most of the time these programs aren't marketed to the people who really could benefit from them. Like you would think like they would be in these communities like doing outreach and actually like looking for businesses to actually you know go into these places and like open up shop. Like it would seem like they should have some type of task force that's you know looking into like businesses that could really thrive. Because it's like, yeah, that's what community investment is. Like I feel like a lot of these programs, they kind of are just throwing dollars at uh, the problem, and is not necessarily uh, as effective as it should be. Because for one, the people who really like maybe need to transition into a brick and mortar, who have been like doing it out of their basement or something, you know they never know about any of these programs. And then like just say me hypothetically, uh when I have applied for these programs, I've never received it. And it's not like they have like a system in place to like monitor like, oh, these people applied for this last year, and they didn't get it. So let's prioritize them. Or this person has potential to do this or that, so maybe we should set up some type of program to help them do this. Like I see them do that when they work with the various chambers of commerce, and they let people get pop-up licenses to pop up in their locations. you know um, but I don't necessarily see that on like a grassroots level, to where it's like, oh, we're gonna get this building and we're gonna put like 10 you know youth organizations, or 10 violence prevention organizations, in each of the areas that have the most violence. Because I'm quite sure if it's an area with violence, it's a violence prevention program and a violence prevention service provider there. Like multiples. But it's like you don't necessarily see the connection. So it's like, where's the disconnect? Like it seems like y'all could put this into Chat GPT and it'll like tell you this stuff. Not saying it like I did it, but I'm just saying like hypothetical. Like if you're not thinking outside the box like that, maybe like something like AI or technology can help, put you up to speed, as far as like where we're at right now. But when I look at the vacant storefront activations, I feel it's a good look, but it's kind of missing, the bar, because a lot of people, like to kind of backtrack, like I remember I applied for it like last year, and yeah, like I didn't get it, but it wasn't like they reached out to me and like told me this or told me that. Like actually, provided a solution, like said that, oh, the stuff that you're talking about doing is like amazing, you know, and we really, 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 you know, will want to put something like, you know, this, you know, in the community, you know, as far as like having, you know, like a community like content makers lab, you know, to where it's like now the people in the community have access to it. You know, like I run a music recording studio, and my idea, you know, was uh, basically converting, you know, it was actually a store that I used to shop in Roseland, you know, had talked to the owner and everything, you know, but yeah, they were basically supposed to help with this activation, you know, of, you know, creating this community center, you know, to where it's like, oh, we would have like concerts, you know, like a community concert series. We would have like multiple community groups because it's like I want the community groups to actually, you know, we would work together because I know a lot of organizations who don't have a physical location, but you know how much we could get done like by working collectively, you know what I'm saying, as well as even being in the same, you know, location, like, you know, I mean, I won't super get into like my my details because this is not what I'm, you know, here to do. But the reality is the community concert series, you know, the open mics, you know, like the kids having, you know, a safe space to where it's like, oh, now they could come, you know, record their songs because, like, you know, we have this studio that's going to be based on this membership model, and now, you know, they could come access this studio, and it's kind of like an incubator space for the community, you know, and creatives. So my point is, it's like I filled out an application and it's crickets. Like I don't hear nothing back. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, oh, okay. You know, maybe it wasn't a good idea, but it's like the reality is like that's the type of investment that we need in these communities. You know, like there isn't anything for the kids to do. You know what I'm saying? And there aren't many jobs in the community. Like it's more people than it is jobs, you know. So most of the kids actually have to leave their community to like work a job, you know. And why aren't we like investing in businesses that could, you know, hire the youth? You know, like why isn't this something that's prioritized, you know? Like they have programs that, you know, the youth are getting jobs, you know, like the One Summer Chicago. I mean, it's various programs, but it's only for a small period of time, you know, and most of these youth, you know, like usually when people aren't like actively like doing something positive, that's when the negative, like, you know, comes in, you know, like, and that's the reality of it. Like, we need these programs year round, as well as we need, you know, investment in the small businesses who are like actually trying to help the community. Because for one, they could provide jobs. Like we're not talking about like major corporations and like, you know, the Walmarts and Targets and stuff who open up and stay here for a few years and then leave. But it's like now we have this big void because, you know, this big box retailer has now closed, you know, and just kind of looking at the economics of it, like I've seen places where like say a Best Buy was at, and it's like now a beauty supply, you know. Like I've seen places where it was like a Walgreens and it's like a beauty supply. So it's just like, you know, that's really where the investment is going. It's kind of going into, you know, things that aren't really gonna have an impact on the community. Like, yeah, I know people need, you know, their beauty supplies, but, you know, Best Buy being a major corporation, you know, like, you know, the tax dollars that trickle from them, you know, actually helps out the community, you know. So maybe the community wasn't supporting, you know, the Best Buy to whereas it wasn't, beneficial for them, so they moved out. But that's what I'm saying. Like, is this beauty supply, representative of that? Like, is this liquor store representative of that? Like, it's not like I see, like, just things that the community needs, like, just constantly opening, like, for real. And most of the people who are trying to, like, bring this change aren't, you know, yeah, like, they aren't really on the forefront of, like, receiving assistance from these programs, or even, on the radar of someone, like Melinda Gates, or like, just the people who are donating all their money to people. Like, so, and that's the reality of it, like, for real. So, yeah, y'all could activate these storefronts, but, you still have to invest in the community. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're still renting. You know what I'm saying? And the landlord probably is a, you know what I'm saying? He's probably a slum lord, and he's just trying to get the money from y'all, so he could, like, pay his taxes and keep it moving. So that's all I'm saying. Like, you got to look at the greater impact that whatever it is that you're doing is going to have, Like, y'all shouldn't be opening no businesses that isn't going to, like, do anything good for the community, Like, oh, we're going to open up this liquor store. Like, people are going to, like, sell drugs and get shot up there. Like, for real. So it's like, come on, not to say that don't give them this license, but it's like, come on. Like, in the hood, that's all I kind of see, Like, Baba's, liquor stores, and, like, spots that are, sketchy. You know what I'm saying? Like, in New York or something, they would probably call them, like, bodegas. So it's like our little corner stores have, like, turned into, like, bodegas, And, yeah, like, for real, where's the love? Like, do you all love Chicago like I love Chicago? Or are you all just, like, doing your job so you could, say that, oh, we did this, Like, for real. Like, I don't do this to just say, I did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, so we got to detox Chicago together. But, yeah, if you're not on the same page with us, like, don't even show up, Like, we not together. Real talk. So, yeah, I'm just trying to call people out and get, the people who are like-minded and on the same page and are ready and willing to do whatever it takes to, make this change. Let's do it. Real talk. Because I can't do it alone, Like, I try, but, I'm only one person, So it's a slow burn. But trust me, I'm going to get there for real.